Before we start, I'd like to remind you, this isn't a trailer. This is a tech demo. I wrote trailer in the video title just to help the video reach more people. I hope you understand this. The Witcher 4 made an appearance at State of Unreal 2025, and it was impressive, even though this wasn't a release date reveal, a gameplay, or a story trailer. This was merely a tech demo that reveals some of the new technical solutions that Unreal Engine 5.6 offers, and what to expect in terms of graphics, frame rate, loading times, ray tracing, and animations. With that being out of the way, we will take a good look at this tech demo and try to squeeze out as much details as possible, so enjoy watching. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Only Thing Gaming channel. The demo starts with a man who looks to be a merchant riding a chariot that gets attacked by a monster, which is later revealed to be a manticore. But for now, let's focus on this coin as we transition to Ciri, and she seems to be tracking this monster. After those few shots, we get to see developers from CD Projekt Red and Epic Games as they talk us through the rest of the demo and reveal more details. Right at the start, I noticed the similarities between this game and Red Dead Redemption 2 if you focus on Ciri dropping down and squeezing through.
What you just saw and are going to see now is running on a standard PlayStation 5 at 60 FPS with ray tracing.
They revealed that this is running on standard PS5 at 60 FPS with ray tracing. This beautiful region is called Kovir, and Ciri gathered clues about a monster and she's getting back to the village. Then we meet Kelpie, Ciri's horse. And just before we go any further, take a good look at this shot right here. The shadows, the rocks, the trees, and even the clouds in the back. This game is truly breathtaking. As Ciri rides her horse, they revealed that they worked on different riding animation for different angles and speeds. Then we get to see the Unreal Chaos Flex Solver. This helps process moving muscles under Kelpie's skin without compromising the performance, as they said. And from what we saw, this is truly impressive. Looks like Red Dead Redemption 2's match is finally here. Then we take a look at how the world was built, especially woods. Using nanite foliage, in their words, achieves gorgeous foliage density and faster render. Then they talked about fast loading times while putting more content as we return to Ciri and Vargris Town. In this town, I noticed how the NPCs act in the world of The Witcher 4. As you can see, just like Red Dead Redemption 2, every NPC is going about their business. You can notice this guy is hanging a poster, and this woman throws a bucket of water as Ciri passes. Next one is a less pleasant interaction.
Let's see what Vargas has to offer.
As we see, this guy spits and says, "Not her again," which means maybe this is not his first time interacting with Ciri. Then we see a show in the market, and as Ciri passes by, you can see how she interacts with NPCs as she gently pushes them to make a way for herself. Then, not so gently, she bumps into this old man, and we can see a child running to collect the old man's apples from the floor, which is what they call the chain reaction to what Ciri did to that old man, basically saying even small actions have consequences. Notice in this shot, in the lower left corner, we can see one of the developers playing the game live. I'll comment on this later in the video after we complete the breakdown. For now, let's get back to the next shot as Ciri tosses a coin to a beggar. Of course, this is done by pressing a button, but heads-up display is disabled for this demo. Next, we see a drunk guy get kicked out by an innkeeper, which is more like Red Dead Redemption's random crowd events. The developer said, "That's what happens when you cheat at Gwent."
That's what happens when you cheat at Gwent.
Which either means Gwent is back in the game, or he didn't mean that literally, as he sounds sarcastic. Personally, I liked Gwent in The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, so I hope it gets back with newer cards, factions, and tournaments in The Witcher 4. And honestly, I think it's coming back as Gwent is a part of The Witcher at this point. We continue to move until we see this NPC. You can notice he's a special NPC as he lost an arm and a leg, and his movement animation is realistic and impressive. And once again, we see the game take inspiration from Red Dead Redemption 2 as Ciri reached her goal. I want you to focus on this cutscene right here. You can notice, as Ciri gets close, the camera turns focus from Ciri to the event that's happening around her. And as she gets even closer, a conversation starts. And I want you to focus on this cut from Ciri's face to this man's face. This is the exact same way used in Red Dead Redemption. You can see this scene for yourself and you'll notice the same formula. Here's the conversation.
White to D4, black to F5, white to G3, knight to F6, bishop to G2, black to G6, knight to F3, white to D4, black to... You okay there?
Here's the cut. And here's the scene after it. The cut is clearer in Red Dead Redemption 2 because of the black area in screen and the mission's name in the bottom. But it's the same concept. And I want you to look at Ciri's facial expressions in this shot right here. This is so realistic and human-like. Next, we take a look at how the world interacts with itself. As we take a look at this stall, we can see this NPC scares a bird of their wares while the merchant is haggling with a customer and sells him a fish in the end. Next, we take a look at a prisoner tied to a pillar. Then they changed the event to a circus and showed how interesting the crowd was. They also revealed at this shot that they can animate over 300 moving NPCs while keeping the 60 FPS target. Finally, we get back to Ciri as they talk about how proud and ambitious they are to create this immersive RPG game, and we get a first look at Lanizza. In the rest of the show, they talked more technical stuff about Unreal Engine and how it made a lot of what we saw better or made it possible in the first place. Since I'm not much of a tech expert, I can't really dive into these details. But if you are interested to know more about chaos physics, nanite, animation, frame rate, and loading times, I'd recommend watch the show until the end. So, there are a few things I personally noticed in the Witcher 4 demo, so I'll share them with you. But before we do that, don't forget to like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I would like to make 5 things clear after watching this demo, and those 5 things might not be relevant, but I mainly noticed them, so here they are. 1. Bear in mind, this is not the actual gameplay. As you can see, CD Projekt Red uploaded the demo in their channel and they have it written down. This isn't the game running on standard PS5 with 60 FPS and ray tracing. This is just a small part of the game. I don't want to kill the excitement here, but downgrades have happened in the past. Running such graphics on consoles with stable 60 FPS and ray tracing, well, I don't think we're there yet. My personal expectation is The Witcher 4 is going to have amazing graphics and frame rate, but it won't be as good as this tech demo, and that should be acceptable and expected. After all, this is a tech demo to flex the engine. A downgrade is possible. The Witcher 3 itself has been downgraded before release. I even remember people making reshade mods to get the game to look like that E3 trailer. So, enjoy those details, but keep in mind that not 100% of the details are going to make it to the final release. Poor optimization, 30 FPS, lower resolution, and upscalers are still expected. And with that out of the way, we'll have to wait and see. Let's move on to the bright side and start talking about the game itself with number 2. Red Dead Redemption 2 inspired a lot of things in the game. The cutscenes, the way you interact with NPCs, and random crowd events. Personally, I would welcome such inspiration as Red Dead Redemption 2 is one of my favorite games of all time, and I think we can agree that following in its footsteps is a good thing. 3. If someone out there thinks that the Witcher series is done, this is far from being true, as even with Geralt's story being done, there's a lot of unrevealed locations and realms the game can explore, like Kovir, Zerrikania, and the last moment revealed, Lanizza. And if you played The Witcher 3, you probably remember the quest through time and space, where Geralt and Avallac'h traveled through many realms.
Where are we?
Welcome to the Didowet Desert.
This somewhere in our world?
Ever seen such canyons in your world? Come, We must go.
With Ciri's ability to travel, as we saw in The Witcher 3, this would seem possible for content in the base game or even as DLC expansions later down the line. And I'm excited just talking about this. I can't wait to see actual gameplay and see how they implement Ciri's abilities into the game. 4. Ciri's horse Kelpie has been mentioned in The Witcher 3 during the quest Wandering the Dark, when Avallac'h left her a message that Geralt and Kira found.
Cyril, mi fordo sol esser Hail Silla Kelpie.
Kelpie? Does he mean that sea monster?
No, that's what Ciri named her mare. Horse could apparently gallop like a demon.
Good name for a horse. So, shall we look for it?
He told her to find Kelpie. Maybe she found him within the events of The Witcher 4, more likely in the beginning of the game. I know it's too early to start making theories, but after seeing this, I hope the game takes place during the events of The Witcher 3 from Ciri's perspective. Doing this allows them to include fresh locations we haven't seen in The Witcher 3 since we're with Ciri and she wasn't there. Plus, it allows Geralt to make an appearance in the game, and maybe even extend the game beyond the events of The Witcher 3 with future DLCs. And 5. I know this isn't relevant. In most of these walking and running shots, the game reminded me of Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War. Maybe it's because of the cape, the two swords on the back, the movement animation, or maybe even the saturated green color. With all of that being said, we've reached the end of today's video. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, and maybe you noticed something I didn't. How about you leave it down in the comments? I hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out one of the two videos you see on your screen right now.